A noxious gas that causes gangsters to age rapidly, a supernatural fishhook which can capture just about anything, and a turtle riding a train. It's weird as shit, so it must be JoJo. Get ready to get bizarre, my friends. It's time to take a look at another episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. Yes, the last episode of the series was a recap. When I found that out, I said, fuck no, I'm definitely not watching this episode. So I'm very excited to see that we have finally returned to the main story. And we finally get to learn what this mystery vehicle is going to be. They've been building it up for the last couple of episodes, and honestly, I don't think I could have predicted any of this. So, spoiler warning, of course, if you have not watched the episode, let's go ahead and jump right in. This episode was really fantastic as it was a build-up to a big confrontation against two more of these would-be assassins. Yes, things are going to amplify a little bit more now as they're going to be going up against two super-powered stand users, but they're going to be doing it in a covert style operation with their brand new mysterious vehicle. So first and foremost, before we even get to that, let me just mention that it's really cool that Abacchio was actually able to get his hand back. Thanks to the prowess of Bruno Bucciarati, he's able to use his zippers to actually like sort of reattach his hand. So that's pretty freaking awesome. It shows that he's going to be pretty instrumental if anybody ends up losing a limb. It just also shows that there's more to his powers aside from just opening up spaces or beating the shit out of people while wearing BDSM armor. What is cool, though, is we finally get to see the vehicle, and it's at this train station. It's supposed to be next to a water fountain and a turtle. When they get there for the very first time, there are these two locks which look like they're perfectly made for the key, but they don't work. Until suddenly, Bruno notices this turtle has an indentation on its back, which is the same shape as the actual key. This is when we learn that the turtle itself is actually the transportation, or to be more precise, the key that's on its back. But the way that this actually works is that the turtle is a stand user, and while that might seem a little strange, it wouldn't be the first time that we've actually seen an animal use stand abilities, like Iggy in Pet Shop, except this time, it's just a normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill turtle. Unfortunately, unlike Iggy or Pet Shop, it doesn't display as much personality, but the overall look of this key embedded in its back is really awesome because it actually shrinks the characters down and places them in this very swanky and comfortable-looking room with nice plush couches, and even some drinks are in some refrigerators down there. It's made for very long trips. And they manage to make it onto the train and hide away into the shadows with the turtle, but they're being chased by these two guys, one who goes by the name of Prosciutto and one who goes by the name of Pesci. Both of these characters are great, with Pesci being the more ridiculous of the two, if only for the fact that his design is so crazy, because the dude doesn't have a chin. It's just like one giant, ridiculous, cylindrical head. He kind of looks like, you know, the Pop Team Epic characters, of the way that he looks with his ridiculous tufted green hair at the top. But both of these characters have really cool stand abilities, and they both come into play in this episode. Pesci actually has the ability to summon this supernatural fishing rod, which, unlike regular fishing rods, allows him to throw this hook through pretty much anything. It can go through walls, it can go through people directly in their body, and somehow it can also sense living things. It's got this like cool sort of like skull motif design to it, and it's really fun to see it, and it also looks like it's incredibly painful when he actually manages to capture people, whether in the traditional style of getting them in the lip like a fish, or in Mista's case, where at the end this entire hook is actually embedded into his hand, and my god does that look fucking painful. Prosciutto, on the other hand, has an even crazier ability. He has a stand which, according to the subtitles here, goes by the name of the Grateful Dead, which, if that's what it's called, then that's awesome. It's really similar to the actual band name, but this thing has a really disturbing design. It looks like a monster like out of Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and it actually emits this like noxious gas which causes people to start to rapidly age depending on what their body temperature is like. And it actually manages to affect all of those who are inside of the turtle as well. Some some of the characters haven't been drinking cold drinks or being near ice, and this causes them to age much more rapidly, especially with Narancia, who's the first one who displays this. And I think this is a really great choice, as even though he's not the youngest member of the group, he's definitely the most youthful in terms of his personality, so seeing him go from this young, vibrant character and slowly transforming into this old man whose skin is quite literally starting to just crumble away into nothing is really damn creepy, with the only characters actually managing to not age rapidly being Bruno, Trish, and of course, Mista, and that's when they decide that they're going to have to go after these stand users if they're going to stop themselves from aging and basically turning into dust mummies. It's not until the end of the episode that Mista ends up getting captured by Pesci, and a big stand battle is about to go down. So what's the rundown on this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind? A sort of slow build-up episode, but one that I really freaking loved. I always love when there's a massive twist on what a stand ability is going to do or how it's actually going to work, and like I said, there was no way that I could have predicted that they were going to be traveling in some sort of key which was placed in a turtle's back. It's that type of creativity you really only see from the JoJo series, and it really worked absolutely amazingly in this episode right here. But I think the big stars are definitely the new villains, Prosciutto and Pesci. Watching them interact with one another is great, with one of them sort of being like the dumber of the two, Pesci, with Prosciutto being a little more calculating, but also a little more desperate in utilizing his ability, which, like I said, causes people to age, and it's affecting everyone on the train, and it leads to what might be one of the most disturbing scenes of the series, where he's passing one of the cars, and there is this young child and her mother, which are both rapidly aging, and it appears that the mother has already died, with this poor child, which is slowly aging and transforming into dust. It's really horrifying, and again shows that this show pulls absolutely no punches when it comes to the super dark imagery. And imagery this episode absolutely had in spades. Watching all of the characters suddenly age is a really disturbing thing in and of itself, but something about Pesci's fishhooks to me really freak me out, especially that final scene where they're just completely embedded in Mista's hand. It's a really horrifying image, and I can't wait to see if his Sex Pistols are going to be able to save the day. This is definitely going to be a crazy, wacky adventure on a train, and I can't wait to see how Bruno and his boys are gonna get out of this one. So I loved this episode right here, pretty much just like the rest of the series. It continues to blow me away with its creativity and its unpredictable storytelling, as well as being completely unparalleled in terms of its style. It's more JoJo. It's more of what you want, and that's why you need to check it out. I'm giving the episode a 5 out of 5. You guys need to check it out, and if any of you did, tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. Thank you all for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down now, baby.